hope you're having a fabulous day. I would like to do a quick video today talking about smart scales, and I've actually been sent a smart scale pretty recently. You know, I've received lots and lots of emails from different companies that are selling smart scales. They basically just wanted to get it over to me, send it to me for a review or an unboxing or something like that. And I haven't really been too interested up until this point. And then I received a message from this company here that sells a smart scale called KooGeek, and they have an app that comes with it. They actually sell TENS units and other things as well, but since I have already been doing quite a bit of videos on TENS units and those type of products, I figured I would focus on the smart scale for this particular video. Also because the smart scales have become really popular, it seems, in the fitness space because it kind of digitally outputs all the information you need with regards to your bone density, the water in your body, your calorie levels, how much you need to take in terms of calories, your BMI. All sorts of information is contained on an app which you can actually save and export that information and keep track and everything. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to annotate the screen with the unboxing and show you this particular product. Now the reason I decided to actually accept this one is because I had some piece of crap scale that was from IKEA, and I figured, you know what, it's time for upgrade. And I was kind of interested to see what the results were in terms of producing or getting an output for my weight, my BMI, all those different things. So in the video you're watching, you'll actually notice that the weight says it's something like 203 pounds. I weighed myself just before recording this video. You can probably drop off a little bit of weight and adjust the actual measurements that are shown on the video because I was holding two cameras. Well, I was holding my camera, smartphone, when I took that video, so the camera's a little bit heavy, but not much, I'm sure, but it probably threw the measurements out of whack a little bit. But I have taken a few measurements of myself, so I'm somewhat keeping track and trying to follow my progression. Now, my overall goals in terms of my body mass and my density and all, whatever you want to call it, but basically I'm aiming to put on about 20 pounds, just shy of 20 pounds, over the next year and a half. So probably sometime right into the beginning of 2018, I'm hoping that I'll be just over 220 pounds, but still maintaining a body fat percentage in the range of around 12 to 16%. Now what's really interesting about these scales, these smart scales, is they actually send a signal through your body that's able to calculate all that information and sends it back to the scale and shoots it into the app. Now the downside of this, I find, is that it's not 100% accurate. See, I've done the caliper test with the little pinching calipers where you write down the numbers on a table and you calculate them all, and it gives you your body fat percentage, and I think you calculate, you pinch yourself in 3 spots on your body. It might be 4, I don't remember. But I had done that, and my body fat percentage shows a lot different than when I use the smart scale. So on the smart scale, I can't quite remember what my percentage worked out to, but you'll see that on the screen. But when I did the actual caliper test recently, I was sitting at around 14 to 15% body fat. So that's ideal for me to stay in that body fat range. It's kind of like a powerlifting parameter. You don't want to be too lean. I'm not preparing for a stage bodybuilding show or anything like that. And you don't want to be too heavy, so you want to kind of maintain an optimal body fat percentage. That way you could train and have enough energy to do so, and you can also start to build muscle because you're taking in the necessary calories and whatnot. So the really cool thing about this scale is that it actually showed me I require a minimum of 3,000 calories a day, which is pretty accurate. I roughly take in anywhere between 3,200 to 3,500 minimum calories a day, and on some days I go up and over 5,000 just because that's what I feel I require in order to continue to gain mass and to reach my goals of approximately 220 pounds within the next year and a half. Now, this calculation and my goal is based on roughly gaining a little under 1 pound per month of lean muscle mass. Now, lean muscle mass is really hard to acquire because you got to work for it. And especially, I'm a little bit older now. I'm 31 years old. So it's a bit trickier for me than someone that's in their 20s that may have, higher levels of testosterone. I use natural means of boosting testosterone, and I'll annotate or I'll put in the description some links to videos I've made discussing about natural ways you can boost testosterone. But basically, it's pretty hard to gain lean muscle mass. Now, when I talk to people that aren't familiar with fitness, they say, well, how are you going to have trouble gaining an extra 20 pounds? And then here's the common thing. They're like, oh, I can give you 20 pounds if you'd like. But that's not quite how it works. You don't just want to pack on fat and pack on all sorts of not good weight, because it's just not going to do me any justice, you any justice. If you're looking to gain size, gain muscle mass, you need to do it clean and lean and stay with really good macros. I don't want to get into the macros that you should have, but maybe I'll just put a link in the description below to another video I've talked about it. Basically, minding your macros is really important. You don't want to overdo the fats, you don't want to overdo the carbs. You want to have a sufficient amount of protein, which generally is between 1 upwards of 2 grams per pound of body weight in protein that you want to consume each day. And for me personally, I like to do that from actual foods, from whole foods, not from protein powders and other sort of supplements like that. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to cover in this video today. I don't want to make this too long. I wanted to show you the scale. I wanted to give you a bit of background about why you might want to consider getting the scale, because we are in the holiday season. It's like the gadget season. Definitely check out the link in the description below to the KooGeek scale, which I'm showing you today. And I'm sure they're going to be running some sort of promotion Black Friday or Christmas or something like that if you want to purchase one from them. Otherwise, there's a lot of other smart scales out there. I can't really say much about them because I haven't tried them, but yeah, so let me know if you want me to do more videos like this. Obviously, I'm going to try and give things away as much as possible, and we actually have some giveaways coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for that. They'll be happening in January, and I've spoken to a couple companies that are going to be sending out some products directly to you guys because they like what they saw on the channel, they like what I'm talking about, and you know what, that works for everyone, doesn't it? So thank you for watching this video, as always, and I will catch you again in that next one.